Welcome home, Jason. I'm back, Ashley. Having someone to exchange such greetings with when you come home is comforting. Her name is Ashley. She's the woman I live with. But we're neither lovers nor family. After all, she's just a high school girl I happened to meet. My name is Jason Roberts. Other than one aspect, I'm just your everyday white-collar worker. The one thing that sets me apart might be the fact that I have no family and am all alone in this world. My mom left our home with my younger sister when I was just a kid and never came back. My dad, without working and always drowning his sorrows in alcohol, put me in a foster home before I reached adulthood and passed away suddenly from illness. I grew up in that foster home until 18, working part-time jobs and managing to graduate from an online high school. After that, I managed to land a job at a small company right out of school. I've been working there for over 10 years now. If my much younger sister had stayed with me, I probably would have seen her become an adult by now. I wonder if she's doing okay. I often find myself thinking about my sister, wondering how she's doing. My mother was no different from my dad, always drinking and never really taking care of us. After our grandmother, who looked after us, passed away, I was the one taking care of my newborn sister. But then, she was taken away by our mother. She was the only emotional support I had in those tough times. Dad, I wonder if she's alive and well. I visit my dad's grave on the anniversary and ask him this. I thought that if he's up in heaven, he might know if my sister is with him. But there's never a response from him. Well, I guess that's to be expected. I even tried hiring a private investigator, but couldn't find out where she might be. After visiting his grave, I found myself wandering around the cemetery. That's when I saw it. A young girl was walking at a slight distance. Oh, a pastry. The girl, wearing a dirty school uniform, was hungrily devouring a pastry that had been left at someone's grave. Her cheeks were sunken, and her complexion looked poor. It didn't seem like she had been eating properly. I felt like I shouldn't be watching, so I averted my eyes. But was she one of those kids who suffered because of irresponsible parents? Thinking that, I couldn't just leave her alone. I turned my gaze back and approached her. Are you hungry? Huh? As she stuffed her face with the pastry, she jerked in surprise. Well, it makes sense. A stranger man suddenly talking to a girl her age would naturally make her wary. Given the circumstances, it's just that kind of situation. I think there's a good deal of embarrassment involved. Don't worry, I'm not a creep or anything. I just want to help you out. Huh? The conversation came to a halt. The more we talked, the more awkward it seemed to get. Feeling the tension and not wanting to overthink it, I pointed at a nearby diner's sign. How about we grab a bite there? We can talk more after. That was how I met Ashley. Coincidentally, my sister's name is also Ashley. Of course, this Ashley isn't my sister. There's a resemblance, or rather, the first time I saw her, I briefly thought of my sister, but they're different in age. I figured we'd have a meal, I'd get to know her situation, and then I'd either take her home or to some safe place, like the police or a shelter. But then again, before I knew it, we started living together. It's because she felt she had nowhere else to go. Today, I made your favorite white stew, Jason. How's the taste? Yeah, it's delicious. When I come home from work, Ashley cooks dinner for me. Seeing her eat the stew across the table, there's an elegance to her. Though she came from a loving family, lately they've been arguing over her career every time they see each other. Fed up, Ashley left her home. Thinking her family would report her to the police if she left without saying anything, she lied, saying she'd stay at a friend's house until things settled down. She believed that doing so would ensure her school would think her parents were handling things well. She thought she had taken all precautions. She is a genuine young lady, has never had a single part-time job, and has no idea of the harshness of the world. At first she bought food with the little pocket money she had and her savings and slept in a youth hostel, but she soon ran out of money and had to subsist on food from a soup kitchen in a park. While sketchy men tried to approach her numerous times, she firmly declined every time. She might not have much experience with the real world, but she instinctively understood that there were worse things than living on the streets. "You still don't want to go home?" "I don't want to return to that house anymore." Every day I'd ask her the same question, and her answer was always the same. In hindsight, it's strange. If Ashley was wary of the shady guys, why did she trust me? I'm also a man. Normally, you'd think she'd see me as dangerous and keep her distance. "Why did you come with me?" I had been asking Ashley, a question that had been bothering me. She paused her meal, seeming to search for the right words. "I just felt you were safe, I guess." She said that, lost in thought, and didn't elaborate further. It felt like Ashley was hiding something. That was the vibe I was getting, but I couldn't push her for answers. We sat in silence for a while until she suddenly murmured, "But I can't keep relying on you. It's not fair to you. I need to figure out what to do next." I asked her this. "But, are you okay? Can you talk to your parents properly? If someone is by my side, I might be able to sort out what I want to say." She had been looking down, but then raised her head, pleadingly looking at me. It was clear from just that look what she wanted to convey. "Got it, then let's go meet your parents together." Hearing my words, Ashley's face took on a peculiar expression that looked both relieved and somewhat lonely. "To settle this means the end of our current way of life. Ending our life together is sad, but we can't continue like this forever. Even if everything's okay for now, if her parents eventually contact the police and they find out about our situation, claiming that I, a man unrelated to her, am merely taking care of a high school girl, won't fly with the cops. Moreover, I doubt this environment, where she's not going to school and staying at home, is good for Ashley. It's best for her to settle this soon." A few days later. What should I do? They're gonna be mad, right? In front of the house's entrance, Ashley looked at me with pleading eyes. "Well, you haven't been home for days. Just go with the flow. Go on, ring the doorbell." After my prompt, Ashley hesitated a bit before pressing the bell. "Hello." Then, a woman who looked a lot like Ashley opened the door. Mom, I'm home." Ashley awkwardly greeted the woman, who embraced her tightly. "You finally came home. I'm sorry, I understand. Your father and I have stopped fighting. We decided that we should talk things out and stop arguing over trivial matters." "That's good. So you're not fighting anymore?" "No, after you left, we finally realized how much we've hurt you with our selfishness. I'm sorry, Ashley." Relief appeared on her face. Then the woman turned to me. "And you are?" I'm Jason. I've been looking after Ashley." "Looking after? Weren't you being cared for at a friend's place? You've been living with this man." Upon hearing her mother's words, Ashley awkwardly looked down. I could see why. It'd be shocking for a parent to learn that their daughter has been living with a stranger for days. I wouldn't blame them if they called the police. However, after closely examining my face, Ashley's mother said something astonishing. You're Jason, right? Jason Roberts." How do you know my name?" "I thought so. When I got a good look at your face, I realized, I know about you. You're related to our late daughter. I've seen a childhood photo of you with her at the facility. You resembled the boy in the picture." My eyes widened in shock at her words. What does she mean by daughter? And she passed away. The first thing that came to my mind was my sister, Ashley. What happened to Ashley? Then I was led to the living room and reunited with Ashley. In the photo, Ashley looked just as young as I remember her. We adopted the girl who was placed in the foster care, but she passed away from an illness shortly after. We named our next child after her. That's the Ashley you see now. I looked over at Ashley beside me, and she quickly looked away, avoiding my gaze. "I'm sorry," she muttered in apology. "What do you mean?" "I realized that you were the real brother of my deceased sister." Ashley said she recognized a young me from a photo when we first met and wasn't scared to be with me because of it. And when she actually came to our place and learned about my sister, Ashley, she wanted to talk about her real identity. But she was afraid of how I would react if she told the truth, and in the end, she couldn't say anything. It's such a coincidence to meet my sister's brother. Looking at the photo, my sister was smiling happily. She looked much healthier than when we lived together. She must have been loved and taken care of by Ashley's parents. But I never found her, and our reunion happened in the worst way possible. I sat down in front of the photo and prayed silently. "Ashley, I'd finally found you. I'm so sorry I couldn't find you earlier. And Dad, why didn't you tell me about Ashley?" Holding back tears, I muttered my greetings to Ashley in heaven and my complaints to my father. After a while, Ashley's mom gently approached me. "There's something I'd like to show you." "What is it?" "Please, follow me." She led me upstairs. It was a small child's room. We've kept this room exactly as it was when she was alive. This is where Ashley stayed. There were many stuffed animals and cute pink-themed furniture. Seeing that room, I felt how much my sister was loved by Ashley's parents. She must have been happier with them than with me. For many years, my husband and I couldn't have children. When we heard about this child's situation at the orphanage, we just felt a deep desire to make her life happy. I wonder if Ashley's mother still thinks of my sister. There was a faint trace of tears in her eyes as she gazed around the room. "I truly believe that Ashley was happy after you folks adopted her." I said those words sincerely. You could tell by looking at pictures in the room of her sister, Ashley, but even more so by observing the genuine goodness of the Ashley sitting beside. At my words, her mother nodded and stepped into the room. "There's something I'd like to give you." Saying this, she brought over a lovely pink biscuit tin from a shelf. "She wrote letters to you every day." Handing it over, I gently opened the tin. Inside were numerous letters with crayon scribbles. "To Jason, I got new parents, but you are my only big brother. I wish you could live here with me. Jason, are you okay? Ashley is fine. I miss seeing you. Jason, are you far away? I want to see you." As I read these heartfelt letters, my eyes welled up with tears. Ashley always looked forward to meeting me, didn't she? Yes. Some mysterious force brought you and the late Ashley together. Ashley's mother gave a gentle smile. Thinking that she might have gave that same smile for her departed daughter made my eyes well up once more. "Thank you for taking care of my sister. For taking care of Ashley." I bowed my head, tears streaming. "Thanks to you, my daughter came back safely. My husband will be home by evening. Would you mind meeting him?" "Yes, I'd love to greet him," I said, squinting through tear-soaked eyes and smiling. Seeing that, Ashley's mother also smiled back. After that, I met Ashley's father, and the four of us shared stories about my sister and the time Ashley stayed at our home. The time we spent together was so warm, it felt like I was with my real family. Please come visit us anytime. Do you really want someone like me? If it's Jason, you're always welcome. Her dad also said this, and since then I've met up with Ashley's family regularly. Today, Ashley brought me to visit my sister's grave. I remember the first time I met Ashley. It was at my dad's grave. I never imagined that meeting Ashley would lead me to reunite with my sister. Fate works in mysterious ways. We offered flowers and my sister's favorite cookies on the grave. You know, I've never told anyone this, but even though I never met your sister, whenever I come here, I get this indescribable feeling. I felt a strange familiarity the first time I met you too. Hearing this, a thought crossed my mind. Could it be that Ashley is the reincarnation of my sister? If that's the case, it might explain the feelings Ashley has. Well, such things probably don't happen. Ashley quietly prayed at my sister's grave, then slowly opened her eyes and turned to me. I think of you as my real brother, Jason. Can I call you Big Brother from now on? She asked with a hint of nervousness in her expression. Wanting to ease her tension, I nodded firmly. I think of you as my sister too, Ashley. Let's stick together. Okay, likewise, Big Brother. Ashley smiled with a bright, sparkling grin. That smile reminded me of the cheerful grin my late sister had, and I found myself smiling along.